Have you ever felt yourself snapping over little things and then suddenly everything feels like too much? Hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome to Mama's Playground.
Mama's Playground, which is not a kid's playground, but it's a mama's playground. We always need one, right?
And that's why today, I'm sorry, but we are having
A little beer.
An adult beverage.
Just a little bit.
It's been great. Okay, I want to start with this because think about this line now that I have your attention. Nobody tells you that you'll have to meet yourself again after you become a mother. I read that line and I was
mind-blowing.
and I had to write it down. And when I said it to you before we started, you're like, wow, because it is so true.
Yeah. It hits home.
Yeah.
It really hits home. And this is something obviously that you don't understand until you become a mother. It's like something changes internally. The stress, the love, like just everything is, I think, a lot more ¿cómo se dice? Like explosive? Is it explosive, the word?
Like you're this one person, you're born, you're a toddler, you're a kid, you're this one person, only thinking about you and your needs and what I want. And suddenly you become a mom, it's like, that's it. Like from the little things, going to the store and buying everything for your kid, or wanting to join a yoga class. You can, because that money, it's in my kids' dance or baseball or whatever. So somewhere in motherhood, we need to find a way to wait. Where are my needs? And we talked about that at the beginning of the new season.
Correct. We did talk about that. And this particular episode, we wanted to talk about whether it's burnout or whether it's boredom. Like, how do you tell the difference, right? Because we go through so many things. And again, I had mentioned that I had started the year off, 2026 off, like not in the best, right? And I was thinking to myself, is this, like, what's going on? Like, am I just bored with something? Do I need something new to like sprucing things up? Do I just feel like burnt out? And I think for me, I was feeling burnt out. And like, how do you know though, right? How do you know? Or maybe they both intertwine together and it's kind of like boredom and burnout is kind of the same.
Well, boredom is lack of motivation.
Yeah.
And that comes from being burnout, I believe. And burnout is, over committing yourself to 1,000 things on the weekend, leaving things that you have to do for later. Like
procrastinating.
That could lead to burnout, because then you're eventually at some point trying to do everything at the same time. I used to be so hard on myself with the house, and I would try to do everything at once, and then it wouldn't happen because I would quit, or I wouldn't even start because I was tired. And one thing I learned is it's okay to be like, today I'm just gonna do this part of my room, and then in 2 days I'll do the other part of the room. All the pressure that we put on ourselves in so many aspects of our lives, that definitely leads to burnout.
Yeah, and I think burnout comes from trying to overdo, right? Like overdo things. Sometimes I think we take on that full responsibility of again, everything that's going on in life. If you're working, it's also like, showing up to work and being the best that you can at work, and then showing up to motherhood and being the best mother that you can, and then showing up to your partnership and trying to be a good partner, and then trying to be the good friend. And then before you know it, you've been on like this automatic pilot all day long, like rushing. 2 months pass by and you're like, I'm drained, and I don't know why. And
the recovery period when you're overwhelmed and burnout as a parent is so little, because you could be, oh my God, I am exhausted from the week I had at work or this and that. But you can't afford to just be like, I'm just going to chill, unless you do what you did, which for your birthday, you left the kids at home and you went to a hotel.
For a day.
But on a normal, month, it's like the recovery period is this little. The moment that you sit down to relax, it's like, I can't look at the kitchen, look at this, or I have to take my, like, for example, today I'm exhausted. Like, I just want to chill, and I'm like, oh no, Luna has dance like in 2 hours. So I have to go there and then just sit and wait for an hour until she's done. I'm like, can we also have like mom classes.
So I think that's boredom. You're like boredom of the same repetition.
So there is boredom.
It's boredom. I think when you're going through burnout, which gets a little bit more, I guess, psychological, right? That's it. You don't want to get out of bed. It's it's costing you to get out of bed. It's costing you to do the things that you once used to like to do and all that, And I think burnout has obviously a lot more repercussions than boredom, right? Because burnout can lead to something further out there, meaning like where you are really just not showing up in life.
But boredom, it's a whole different thing. If you're bored, for example, in your relationship,
what do you need to do?
I don't have to say it.
You got to put a wig on, you know what I mean? Put a different dress on.
I was thinking about another thing and nothing to do with what would be my decision, but a lot of women, a lot of men, when they get bored in the relationship, they don't put a wig, they look for somebody else.
Well, so
boredom can be very dangerous.
It is.
Especially in a relationship.
It is dangerous. Sure. No, and boredom can lead you to start trying things. Maybe if you don't, measure that, it could be things that are not good for you, hence what you just said, like you're bored in your marriage and you start finding maybe more extreme measures to keep things like happy and flowing and so on. But with burnout, I feel like you have to be very careful because burnout can lead to depression. I feel like that can take you down another avenue where you're just really not living. And again, I remember listening to Mel Robbins. We brought her up. I like listening to Mel Robbins. Sometimes her podcasts are too long, but sometimes they're very good, valuable information. And she said, I remember when I was going through a really hard time financially with my husband, and I lasted, I don't know if it was like 8 months or something. She lasted not wanting to get out of bed. And so then she had come out with that thing that we had talked about, that she said, okay, I need to do something because time is passing. Every day comes by. I literally just do not want to see anybody. I want to lay in a dark room under the covers. That starts to lead it starts to lead to a depression, alcoholism, so many things. Every different thing. And in motherhood and this and that is like, and it happens. You're also fending for these humans. If you fall in that trap of allowing yourself to be burnt out to a point where you don't want to get up, everybody starts to be affected by this, right? Like your kids, your spouse. So, how do you measure and say, do I just need something new in my life, or do I just need to stop doing everything that I'm doing and take it easy and move forward?
Signs of boredom. You're tired even after sleeping. Small tasks feel overwhelming. Maybe something that was easier before, now it's like, I'm done. And you feel it. And we've all been there. That's why it's easy to talk about it. When you're just exhausted, when, I was okay doing this just yesterday. Today, like, everything hurts. I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to snap. Another sign of burnout, you feel resentful toward things you used to love. You fantasize about quitting everything and you feel emotionally numb or irritable. Oh my goodness. Yes, we've been there. Yeah. But this is when you have to go back and listen to our episode from
New Energy.
On New Energy, because this is when you have to stop saying no to things. Stop saying no to commitments. And then just find other ways where you can still do things you love, like spending time with your family, your kids, but that you can also relax.
And switch it up. I think you have to literally look at your life and say when you feel like that, right? Again, I'm talking from experience, and it's probably not going to be the last time that something like that happens. But from this year, when I started the year off really down, and it was like 2 months into it, and I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm feeling like I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to like talk to anybody. I just want to be in my thing. It's drowning in my sorrows and so on. And it took me being conscious and saying, I cannot continue like that. If I do, it's just not going to be good for anybody, not for myself, not for anybody that's around me. So you have to switch that up and say, what can I do for myself? Obviously, if you're in that point, because there's people, that get so far into burnout that they need other people to help them to get out of that, right? You probably get to a point in your life where, it's no longer superficial. It's reached a point where you need help now because you've dragged yourself so far in.
When you say help, who do you refer?
Psychologists. Like, I need help. Like, I'm feeling down, because I feel that with burnout, and I've seen this happen, and you see this in people that are very high net worth people. They've talked about it, that they say, oh my God, I was working day in, day out, every day. I would go to sleep at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. And this is in anything, whether it's motherhood, whether it's in business, whether it's in whatever. When you are constantly on the go, go. And you keep putting yourself to the back end and you're no longer thinking about the things that used to bring you joy and everything is go, 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 go. You get to a point where you don't realize it, but one day just everything stops and you go, oh my God, why am I feeling like this? And then you have to do an overhaul of like everything you've been doing for the past who knows how long and say, well, how could I not be? I have not put any emphasis on myself or any self-care on myself. I am feeling burnt out. I need a time. I need to step away from what I'm doing. I need to go take 30 minutes and maybe go to a church and go to a chapel and sit there and like just like reflect on my life.
Get a haircut.
Or get a haircut, which we brought that new energy, the new energy.
You have to do it for yourself. You have to do it for your kids. When you're burnt out, you can tell. Like when you see people on the streets, you're like, she's exhausted. And probably a bunch of people have said that about me. But
and you know what's funny, Darlene? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know what's funny? The other day I was pulling into carpool with Jacob. It's funny that you said that people could tell. And we were stuck in car line and there was a mom and I thought it. I didn't say it out loud. And Jacob, my 8-year-old, said it. The lady's putting the stuff in her trunk of her car. Her hair is como que despelucado, ¿verdad? And she's going, and she looked exhausted. And in my mind, I'm driving, I'm in the front seat and I'm looking, I go, my God, that mom looks like she's having a rough day. She's tired. And Jacob goes all of a sudden, Mom, that lady looks really tired. She needs to go to sleep. And I said, wow, it isn't a thing that people can tell.
I mean,
he's 8.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 8. He saw it. And I said, my God.
Imagine our kids seeing it. Well,
absolutely.
Mine has told me too.
Yeah. Yeah, they notice.
Yeah.
It's not something that they don't notice. They know when you're off. I know if you're an energy person, and most people can feel, energies. You know when somebody is really down. You know, maybe if you're not conscious of other people and you're all about yourself, you might not see that. But if you are like emotionally empathetic and you kind of feel people's energies, you can tell when somebody is just down. And you can tell, let's say with close family members or friends, when you see them very often and you say something's off about this person.
Yeah.
Something's not okay. Like either they're going through a hard time. Something's like their personality shifted. They went from being so upbeat to now they're quiet. They're just not themselves. And it happens. And especially when you're trying to divide yourself into 1,000 different places and be there for 1,000 different, people and be the good person and do this and do that. It's a lot. And then you got to take on that thing and say, I don't want to go through a burnout. A burnout is bad. A burnout, I think a burnout is bad in theory because it could take you into, again, dark places. But a burnout can also make you, if you're that person that can get out of that tunnel again, make you realize and say, I'm not going through this again. Like I need to pace myself. I need to take it easy. I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to take a break. I'm going to take a freaking week by myself. If I need to go to a weekend hotel.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
By yourself, where you maybe just need to go sit by a pool by yourself, not with your spouse, not with your kids, not with any friends, and do reflection. I think that's all needed in these things because it's happening more than we like to think. I think a lot of people are going through that. Not only that, burnout of looking at the news, burnout of everything that's going on in the world.
Of going on social media and being
it's a burnout.
like, oh my gosh, she's making all this, like I had said in the other episode, like these, veggie fruit waffles, and I'm going to the supermarket and getting the Eggos chocolate chip frozen. And that, because the burnout could be physically because, again, we are in our 40s. Things change. Things start
1,000%. It's not a lie. It's
but
true.
But we still have to bend down because we're not in South America. We're having a lady be there and cleaning and cooking for you. We can't afford that because I have friends that they got used to that.
Yeah.
Me too. To having like the lady of the servicio, no? It's like, no, over here, like, at
you
least
do it for yourself.
But yeah, again, we're in our 40s, so it's a lot of we're exhausted because we're starting to feel, ay, la espalda, esto, lo otro. But we still have to bend down and pick up the toys, and we have to clean, and we have to be a lot of times, standing up, cooking, washing dishes, and cooking again, and it's a lot of work. So physically, it's demanding. It's a physical burnout. And then combine it with the emotional. I just went through, I'm trying to organize myself a little bit more with schedules because also having like a schedule and a routine and doing things in advance, it helps. If you know that there's going to be a birthday in a couple of weeks, don't wait to, and I'm talking to myself, trying to remember this.
You're reminding me.
But it's things that help with the burnout. Just planning ahead, buying the stuff ahead. Shit, before you know it, it's December again. Like, start going on Temu or Shein or whatever and start
doing your
shopping
shopping
for everybody. So you don't have to be paying so much money if you leave it to the last minute. But the schedule thing, it's exhausting. Luna starts CCD in the fall, 2 days dance, and she wants to do gymnastics. Now I have everything figured out. Fabian was asking me something. Oh, you're not listening to me? Like we always say, 1,000 tabs open. Trying to organize myself for fall, I was exhausted. And then I finally figured that out. And I'm like, camp. Okay, which camp? And how many weeks? And what field trip?
There's
and
deadlines.
So
and there's deadlines.
And the freaking deadlines.
The deadline.
And it could start in November. But no, you have to pay by June to reserve your spot. Mira, carajo.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. The
so
deadlines,
annoying.
the paper that has to be put in, that summer camp opens, you better register this day. Then if you're working, work needs you to be at a certain time. Or you have a client. The client wants you to be over here. The kids have this. You need to pick them up at 2. It's a lot. And it can cause, I can see it causes, I feel like burnout and boredom can go kind of like together, right? Like I feel it causes a point where you're so much on automatic pilot all day long.
You're restless.
You're
exhausted.
restless, and at the same time you're exhausted, but at the same time boredom plays a fact in it because it's every day the same shit over and over and over and over and over. And then you say to yourself, I just need a little something different. So for my birthday,
So you know what they call that? Romanticizing pivots in life. Like thinking of, what if I moved to Europe?
Listen, don't even go to that, because when I came back after my trip in December, my whole thing in January, and I think that also had me on a Debbie Downer mood, was I want to move to Spain. I want to move to Spain. Benjamin, let's move to Spain. Benjamin, let's figure it out. Benjamin, in 3 years, okay, let's plan it, because I felt like I need to get out of here. Why? I was getting bored of the same shit here every single day.
Okay.
The same thing.
Short pause. Raise your hand right now.
If what?
If you travel to Europe, Spain, let's go with Spain.
Italy, France,
and
whatever.
you come back to the States and you say, I'm moving to Europe.
Listen, can I tell you? So here's the burnout thing. So here's the thing that I said to myself, oh my God, this is so amazing. On my trip, obviously everybody's walking. Everybody is como que más, I feel like they're more relaxed over there. It's not the same pace that we run over here, right? This is all about work, which has its advantages.
Trabajar para vivir, vivir para trabajar.
Vivir, yeah, I think that's, yes, exactly. That, you over there, they don't live to work. We do. We are living to work, basically. When I saw how these people live their life, not now, like I've gone to Spain and all that before, but I see my cousins. I met up with them at a bar. Benjamin stayed over with the kids at the hotel. I was like, I'm going to spend some time with my cousin. I haven't seen her in like 10 years. I'm going to go cruzar el puente colgante, because I was in Bilbao, over there in in Portugalete, it's called. And I took the little thing that they have that goes over the river, and everybody's there, everybody's walking, the ambiance. I get to the bar, we have a beer, we had the best absolute time. And she says to me, Monica, here I've never understood how you guys live to work. That saying for me never really hit home, and I thought it was a joke. And now I realize that is not a joke. That's how you guys live over there. She goes, here we live a little bit more simplified. We have decent jobs, but we take off all of summer and we spend quality time with each other. I felt like, wow, what a beautiful thing, Over here, the advantage of being able to work and fend for yourself and be able to create something yourself is amazing. But also over there, to be able to spend precious moments that you don't know if you're ever going to get back and slow it down. And I don't know, I just feel like it's not the same.
I feel like also there's more human interaction over
there.
More
you're connection.
You're walking, you're on the train, you take buses. Over here, if you tell somebody, wait, what? You're taking the bus? Why? You don't have a car?
Yeah.
I mean, and I wish that we had more of, we're in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, but more of, I'm just going to take the train and go to Tampa and see my friends. And I don't know. And I think there's a line, but I was talking to Fabian about that. It's so expensive. Over here, they just want you to get in the car.
Yeah.
Over there in Europe, you go like from Madrid to Toledo.
No, everything is in a bus. Everything is on a train. Yeah. Everybody's out. Now, I'm not saying it's...
Look at it. Everybody buys everything fresh, what they're going to cook that day. There's no Costco.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's a little bit slower paced. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you have a little bit more time to kind of maybe focus on your well-being. because I'm not saying that everybody, I'm sure there's cases of it and they're going to be like, no, that's not true. I live like this. Everybody's different. I just feel like the el ritmo is a little slower and it's a little bit more connection. And over there, you can call somebody on a Wednesday and say, hey, I just got out of work, and la vida empieza after you get out of work. Here, it's like it's the same in and out every single day that you get out of work, and no, we got to go homework, and you've got iReady, and you've got iExcel, and you've got this, and then plus all the shit that you have to take care of for yourself. That's other things that you've got going on, not just your kids' things. And it leads to a certain burnout and boredom at the same time. I think they intertwine with each other. Yeah. I think that it's something that it's like inevitable. I think
it's like Groundhog Day. Like it just keeps
going. And then you say, when do you cut and you break that cycle? Do you want to be, if God willing, they give you to live to be 100? Do you want to be the 80-year-old que tiene las ojeras así and you are con el cuello así and your back is hurting and you say to yourself, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I can't anymore. But you keep going and going to the day that you freaking die. Excuse my thing, but it's the freaking truth. Or do you say to yourself, no, I'm going to cut it. And you know what? I am going to one day, hopefully, take 3 months and go to Europe and enjoy my time with my family and connect and relax. And ¿me entiendes? But you have to build that for yourself. Yeah. And it's funny because I have friends that'll say, oh, you know, God willing, they'll give it to me. No, listen, I am a firm God believer, but I believe God gives you tools to move forward. He's not going to drop anything in your lap. So if you want that, you want to get out of the daily routine, you have to find it. You have to find those things. You want to enjoy a vacation one day out of your own setting, you have to look for those ways to do it. You know, no sé, it's como que, I don't know, I think us moms, we take on a lot. Us women tend to be a little bit more stressed out, I want to say.
And also, it's okay to admit it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I go to Luna's dance, and you see, it's funny because there was a dad the other day and he's like, this is so funny. This is like a show because there's like 6 moms here talking about diapers. The other one's over there talking about gymnastic competitions. The other one has like her AirPods and she's on a call. The other one is walking around with a computer and he was the only man there. And he goes, wow. And I go to him, you're missing this one, the one that's exhausted. That day I was so tired and there was no way to sit, so I'm just standing there in the corner. And anyway, because in the middle of all this chaos, you're taking your kids to swimming, jiu-jitsu, dance, volleyball. You feel like you have to show up and be happy and talk to everybody. Sometimes it's okay, honestly, to stay in the car.
By yourself.
To just say, I'm exhausted, I need this time for myself. Or you can take that opportunity and just leave the worries and all that shit in the car, leave it behind, and go and hang out with other parents.
You cannot be on all day long. No, you can't. No. It's not healthy. I've seen it. I've seen it with people that I love very much so. And usually they tend to be women and they're on all day long. Es como que la vida es una carrera and that I have to finish everything in this amount of hours that I have that I'm awake. Because yes, there's 24 hours in a day, but the real reality is you're not 24 hours awake, right? You have to at least sleep something if you sleep. Entonces es como que I have 8 hours. How am I going to squeeze in everything that I can in 8 hours? And that causes a burnout. I know from experience because I am the person that I want to do everything in the shortest amount of time.
Prioritize.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to make a plan, which, again, this year I've gotten better with. I've started to say no to this, yes to this. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, they have a party. I don't care if I'm going or not. The kids are going to come to do this. Es como que you have to start to not feel obligated to take on so much.
Yeah, and don't try to be at other moms' speed.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
that competition.
Like this mom that I know, their daughter tested for, what do you call it?
Gifted?
Gifted, yeah. So immediately wait, do I have to get Luna tested for gifted? And then another mom was saying, wait, what? And
no, the pressure, forget it.
So I go straight to her teacher and I go, does she need that? She's like, no.
We definitely cannot compare ourselves to other friends, other moms on, social platforms and all that stuff. And that's the thing, the pressure of wanting to feel like you're keeping up with the Joneses. You can't. You have to prioritize what is important to you, and you need to step away from the things that don't serve you anymore and keep moving forward. If you try to keep up with everybody in your life and everything that's around you, you will go to a burnout. You will. I mean, I'm sorry. You will, because you are trying to, well, I did that too. Also, you cook your daughter every day un filet mignon. Well, now I'm going to have to go to the grocery store and buy filet mignon every day because I need to be top. No, dude, that doesn't work like that. That doesn't work like that. It's like, yeah, like, no, I'm sorry. And you know what? I hate to say this, because I'm a woman, so I could say this. Us women are, and my husband says it all the time, we're very wired differently. Es como que una hace una, and she goes, oh, really? You did that? So I need to do that too. So wait a second, you took her to where? And they did what? I'm going to go sign up for that too. Get out of here. No, we don't have to perform for anybody.
Okay, I gotta say, this is ideal. So Luna comes the other day and she goes, Mom, this substitute teacher, I love her. And I did substitute for 2 days. So I kind of took an offense. Wait, but the other one, she's a real substitute teacher. And she goes, I love her. She smells like cotton candy. And I go, what? And she's like, yeah. So she's told me a couple of times because she had the teacher for a whole week. So here I go on Amazon. Organic.
To smell like cotton candy? Darlene?
And I'm thinking, okay, I need my own smell. I want my daughter to be like, my mom smells like this. So I'm an island girl. I wanted like vanilla, coconut. So I got this lotion. And I go, okay. So I started putting it. Mom, you like how I smell?
Darlene.
And then I put it on her, and her skin got irritated because she has eczema. So anyway, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I did need a different a lotion, which I usually use the same one.
No hagas excusa. No hagas excusa.
But I wanted to switch to this one because I want her to say my mom smells like vanilla.
Oh my, but this is what I'm talking.
You say that, oh my God. And we all fall in that trap.
No, we do. Es como que I remember when I started my Instagram page years ago, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I had joined this thing, Beachbody, right? Because I was like, I'm going to do my Instagram page because I see these people working out and I want to get in shape. So I started working out, and I was working out constantly. You could ask Benjamin, it was like 4 years of constantly working out. And I remember friends would reach out and I could see, people watch your stories and they start to look, but they might not comment. But then later you would go somewhere and they'd be like, so what are you doing again? Like a Beachbody, but how is that with the containers? And then it's the pressure of keeping up because somebody is doing something that you might not be doing. And I say this in every sense of the way because it happens to all of us. And you go, that's like a light bulb moment. Should I be doing the same thing? Let me go and now investigate this. I know some people do it till they want to top people. They need to be the best mom out there and they need to have the freaking trophy, And then there's people that do it more so because they feel like the guilt of like, I might not be doing as much as I could be doing. But then again, we're going back to putting pressure on yourself. And that pressure eventually is like a pressure cooker. And if it keeps on and on on, it's too much. Entonces tú tienes que decir when you're going to do a cut y decir, I'm not going to go through a burnout. I've either been there already or I feel I'm getting there. And how do I do to cut this out? Y como que I gotta take a step back and say to myself, I'm worthy of feeling good in my skin, and I am worthy of saying no to this, yes to this, because if not, I promise you, if you want to keep up with everybody and you want to be the perfect this and the perfect that and do everything all day long and be on the go, anxiety is going to creep up, okay? Depression will eventually get to you when you realize that you are not a freaking machine and that you're not going to be able to keep up with everything that you have in your mind. So you have to pace yourself.
It's affecting you and it's affecting everybody.
The people around you.
And you said something earlier, and it's, you think about what you want, what's good for you, and then you think about what's good for the family, and then everything else. So
everything else falls.
Priorities, but you have to also think about like what you need.
Yeah.
Right? As a person, as a woman. One thing that I wanted to mention, and I see that a lot here. I saw it a lot when I was in California. We're very lucky because we have help from our husbands and our parents. Thank God. And we have a community. We have a village. And like they say, it takes a village.
It does.
But there are so many families, especially out here in South Florida, their parents, the grandparents of the kids are far. And this is when you have to go and find good friends.
Yeah.
And
to trust other people.
Get that, trust other people and try to build that village that if you feel, you know, when you're going to get a burnout, you feel it in so many ways. You start snapping, you can't sleep, you have a headache, you're irritated. When you feel that you're falling into that, then it's time to start delegating.
Let me be honest, it's much easier said than done. That is much easier said than done, because I think when you get into a burnout moment where you really are truly been on 100% or trying to do 100% for so long, and all of a sudden you find yourself in this state where you don't want to get out of bed, which again, I relate this can very easily fall into a depression. It's very hard for you to kind of get out of it. And if you don't have a support system around you, or you don't have the willpower inside of you to get out of it, it's very easy to fall in a huge stump. So it's kind of like you need to catch it on time. You need to realize when you're feeling a little bit off, when you're feeling like, my God, why am I not feeling like myself? Usually I would wake up in the morning like at 8 with energy, and now I don't want to get out of bed. Like I don't even want to make breakfast for the kids, not even for myself. I don't want to do anything.
And it's okay to feel like that.
It is. But if every single day you feel like that, Darlene, it could end up being something más clinical, let's say, you know?
Claro.
Y todo el mundo can fall in that. Everybody, because with everything, again, trying to keep up with everything, with yourself, with the world, then the news, infiltration of everything that's going on in the world, like all this stuff, you need to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. And then going back to, is it boredom or is it burnout? I feel like, let's say you think they're cousins, and I feel like if it's boredom, let's just say for the past 2 months you've been doing the same repetition over and over again, and all of a sudden you say, you know what, I'm gonna join, I don't know, I'm saying this out of like experience, I'm gonna join CrossFit now. And all of a sudden you see your mood shift, then maybe it was a thing of boredom, that you needed something different in your life, something to do, something good for yourself. But how do you know if it's going down into burnout, you know? And I think that's when you start feeling a little depressed. I feel like burnout and depression go...
It's everything. You let yourself go, pretty much.
Yeah.
You let yourself go. You're like, you're bored. Burnout, for me, it's burnout leads to boredom.
I feel like it's boredom and then burnout. I don't know if they're correlated somehow. Again, we're not like physical, like we're not physicians here. I don't know, but I feel like they can be intertwined, definitely intertwined. You got to take care of yourself. Ladies, take care of yourself. You're feeling that burnout. You're feeling like, my God, I just don't have any more in me to give. It's time to take care of yourself. Yeah. It's time to take care of you, and then reset and then replay again. And maybe figure out the replay and say, it's not going to be the same that I've been doing for the past 3 years. It's going to be something different, because it's, again, boredom and for me, a burnout kind of have a similarity. Like, or they have like an intertwine, right? You deserve to feel good. You deserve to take care of yourself every so often and step away from your family and step away from anything that's causing you issues. And if you're burnt out at work, it's okay to say, you know what, I need to talk to my boss and say, I need to do something. I need to do a change or something. It's many things. You need to be proactive, because you've got one life, only one life, and you deserve to live it the way that you choose to and the way that makes you feel good.
Preach it.
Absolutely.
Oh, preach it. I love it. It's so true. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, it's okay to be tired, be bored. Just delegate and just get out of it and live this beautiful life.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.